you have dialed in for our Henning Lee 4-cup gravy and fat separator. Now, what you're going to love about this item is that you pour all of that beautiful rendered liquid in the top. What's going to happen is your liquid is heavier than the fat, so the fat will separate. You're going to see that live on our set here as well. So what you're going to do is then press the button, and it's going to release a little opening in the bottom and allow only those rich, delicious juices out. So when you're building a pan gravy, when you're making an au jus, when you're doing all this for the great things that you're going to be making for the holiday season, boy, talk about a great gravy with no lumps. This is going to be perfect and no extra fat. How does it all wash up? Well, in your dishwasher, of course. And look at how this fat is all separated. Beautifully done, so we know that all the good juices are on the bottom. The fat has risen to the top. All the solids are caught in the little lid that acts like a colander. So I pour everything directly from the pan into this and let it sit. It naturally separates, and then with a touch of a button, this happens. See that little gauge at the bottom? I press the button on the top, and the little opening opens up in the bottom and allows only the liquids to pass through. All the fat is separated, my measurement designations are on the side, and I can now dispense this liquid right into my roux and make one of the best pan gravies that is going to make your roast turkey or chicken perfect. Now let's talk to you about color choices and remind you that I have 5 colors for you to go with. Here it is in the moss green. We have 15 left in moss green. Here's the blue. Fewer than 500 remain. Here's the red, here's the gray, and here's the black. The last 2 days we had this on the air sold out completely, and it's on its way to selling out again. You haven't seen this since October of last year, and it is flying. Mark Charles Massili is waiting live via Skype to tell us more about this great Henning Lee product. And Mark Charles, as you can hear, already very popular, and none of this is surprising.
Yeah, we waited a long time for it, but I love the fact that this is one step, one button. This is everything. It is a measuring cup. It is a dispenser. It's a fat separator. It's a strainer on the top. And more importantly, it is all dishwasher safe. So I love the fact that we did an extra large topping here to catch all the strain. David, this is a 360-degree lip. So if I want some of the fat, see this fat separated? If I want some in my sauce, I can, but then all you do is push that button, like you said, and it separates, whether it's turkey, chicken, beef, you name it. Look at that separation right there. And I'm gonna put it right into my gravy boat. And if you're making roux, like you said, or gravies, or you're just doing your, the roast pork, or your beef roast and all that.
The au jus is what you're looking for, yes.
For the roast beef, that's what I was thinking of. And I love it. It's just everything you need. Remember, it is a 4-cup measuring cup that is absolutely dishwasher safe. The whole thing comes apart. Here's another feature too, David, I want to point out to you. This comes apart like this. So you can actually get everything cleaned, which is really unique. You got all the measurements right there. So this can be a regular measuring cup, by the way, which I love, with a 360-degree lip on it that we love. So you can actually measure ahead of time and actually use this as a measuring cup. But if you need to strain anything for that measuring cup, right in there. And then more importantly, if you need to separate the fat and dispense it, like you said, there's that little lift that happens when you push that button, and it does it right away. And that's all silicone underneath there. So when it stops, it stops. There's no dripping on there. It stops on a dime, which we love.
Oh, and Mark Charles making a beautiful pan gravy. I just need a little black pepper. And this is going to be perfect. A beautiful roast turkey to go with my turkey breast here. This is something special and so very popular. In fact, now we've taken orders for 5,000 now ordered in this show. Almost half the quantity is gone. Now, if you want the blue, let me go through colors again, and then we'll show you how this is going to work, because I have a pan here from a roast chicken. Now, here's the moss green. Fewer than 900. Here's the blue. Fewer than 300. Here's the red. I also have gray, and I have black. The last 2 times this was on the air, it sold out. Though you haven't seen it since October of last year. Now, this is how it's going to work. You're going to take the meat out of the roasting pan. This one we've obviously let cool. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pour my juices and rendered fat and vegetables. All of it goes right in. I don't worry about those vegetables because I'm going to save those. And now they're all draining. Let me move this to the front so you can see this really well. We'll back that camera up a little bit, Mikey. There we go. Perfect. Now look what's happening down below. It's beginning to naturally separate. The fats are rising to the top, and what's settling down below, Mark Charles? Well, that's liquid gold, isn't it?
That's liquid gold. Oh, we love it. And David, you know, the old way was we'd have to skim the pot with a spoon on the top. That's what my grandmother did it because she didn't have a great tool like this. That's what I love about Henning Lee. They take something we've all been doing for years and years and decades and generations, but making it better, smarter, and easier to do.
And Mark Charles, you know why we don't skim the pot anymore? Because we've got lives to lead, right? Come on now.
Yes.
You've got things to do, and you've got hungry mouths to feed, and you want to get that pan gravy made in a hurry, right? And
Yes,
what we don't
exactly.
have is a lot of time, and we don't want to spend extra time away from family this holiday season. You don't have to anymore. You're going to roast your meat and then pour the drippings right through the top, or the broth from the soup, or if you're making your own stock and you want to skim the fat out of it. What if I'm making chicken and dumplings? I want a little bit of fat in there, but I don't want very much. Then this allows me to control that. And with the touch of a button, that trap door opens down below, and the shutoff valve will prevent any leaking, and you just pour everything right in. Dispense it right into your roux to make your pan gravy. If your roasting pan is stovetop safe, put it right back on the stove. And then dispense in there. Make your butter and usually butter and flour to make your roux, and then dispense that beautiful broth right back inside. All goes in the top rack of your dishwasher, easy peasy cleanup, or hot soapy water in your sink. We just sold out of blue, so I'm gonna take blue away. And the next to sell out is going to be the moss green. I have 700 left in the moss green. Here it is in the red. I also have the gray. And finally, we have the black. We've now taken orders for over 6,300, and that's well over half our quantity. Mark Charles, you realize it took us a year to get this back in stock. A whole year.
When I saw this go on, I go, wait a minute, we're going back on finally? This is last year I was on with this, and we introduced it last year, like you said. Both times they loved it because you know what? It's a simple solution. It's a one-finger touch. It's very intuitive. It's just a smarter way of doing something. There's that fat separated in there. But remember, it's not just a fat separator. This is a measuring cup. It's a dispenser. It is a strainer on top. And of course, my favorite is the 360 lip on there. So if I want to put a little bit of fat in there, in that gravy, because some recipes call for that, I can 360. There's no one pour spout. It's a 360 pour spout. And the whole thing comes apart and goes in the dishwasher. To me, this is the best of the best. Henning Lee did it and it made it smarter, easier, and just super intuitive to use.
Mark Charles, I've got another idea for you. Let's say you're making a batter and it says to add your milk slowly. I don't have any fat in here. This is just straight up milk. I'm going to dispense a little milk inside, and I'm going to do a little whisking. Oh, I need a little more milk. Maybe I want to dispense the milk while I'm whisking, because now you want to incorporate it slowly into that batter, so now it becomes beautiful, and these pancakes are ready for the griddle, or the cupcakes are ready for the liner. You just dispense a little bit in there, a little bit at a time, and you mix it up, and you're ready to roll. This needs a little bit more liquid, so let me get that absorbed in, and then add a little more milk.
David, I think it's a great point you're making here, because yes, we're calling it a fat saver, and that's the main purpose. But because Henning Lee made this a dispenser that has actually got a strainer on top and 4-cup measuring cup capacity, you can do what David's doing. If you just measure out your liquids for a baked good and you want to incorporate it slowly, you know, you could do oils and vinegars too. If you're dispensing an oil and vinegar into a dressing and you're whipping it easily. And again, that's what it is. It was made for a separator, but I love Henning Lee because you can do so much more with it. It makes it a really useful, versatile tool in the kitchen. There's that one finger touch again that I just love so much. And remember, what I love is when it's done, it's got the strainer on top, that pops off, and what I really love, this unscrews so you can really get a good clean. For this, and this all goes in the dishwasher.
Okay, Mark Charles, I have some updates for you. This moss green has sold out, so I'm going to cast this off. And we started the show with how many? With 12,500 of these. In the red, 1,300 are left. That's all I have. In gray, 1,300 remain. And in black, which has been the most popular, 1,500 remain, and then it is sold out again. Now, Mark Charles, I don't have any information about more of these coming in before the holidays. Do you happen to know?
I don't. I was actually surprised that it took this long to get it in October. I thought we premiered this in September, so to be honest with you, David, I don't know when it's coming back.
Well, and that just means get it while you can. If the color doesn't make any difference to you, then just get either the red, the silver, or excuse me, the gray or the black. Black is very popular. All goes in your dishwasher. We'll shoot this one from the side. This is the roasting liquid that I just poured in about 3 minutes ago, and look how it's separating. The fat is lighter than the liquid down below, so the liquid separates, and then the fat all gathers on the top. When I go to press that button, I'm only allowing that liquid gold to be released, so now I'm making the perfect gravy. I'm making the beautiful base for my chicken and dumplings. You're having a soup that has very little fat in it if you're looking to try to cut down your fat. So much of that is created when we create stock, both beef or chicken stock. All those kinds of things are going to be so important. Don't miss out on this opportunity. We're very, very busy on our ordering lines. I should say all of our lines, both phone and ordering lines. So please use QVC.com and your mobile app. Those are your two fastest ways to get through right now. Let me talk to you about the fact that we began the show with 12,500 of these. We've already sold out of moss and blue. In the gray and red, I have 900 each. You know what they call this? This is a race to the finish line. These two are neck and neck. And they're off. All right, these are selling very evenly, the gray and the red. If you want the black, I have 1,100 remaining in the black, but this one is also going quickly. In fact, that's the most popular color of the show. And more than one customer buying more than one of these. So great gift idea, or if you're doing two different types of gravy, maybe at Thanksgiving or Christmas this year, you're going to do a prime rib and a roast turkey, or a turkey breast and a prime rib, and you want to have gravy for both. You'll need two fat separators to make that happen a little more quickly. That's why you want to get yours now, and these are going very, very fast. Mark Charles sold out both days we had this on the air. It has taken us almost a full year to get it back in stock.
Yep, it's only the third time I've ever been on air with this. It's the third time I ever saw this. I think why people are buying more than two is because they've never seen anything like this before. It's really everything you know and thought you knew about fat separating. Real quick, David, I want to show you something. Here's my problem. I want to bring this in front of you. You know, here's the fat. It's congealing. First of all, not very appetizing. But again, my grandmother used to say, take that skimmer and skim across that. Awful. Look at an awful way to do something like that. We took it to the new generation. Why? Because we put that strainer on top, so put everything on there. The goodness is still on there, some of that stock that's on this. We want it to drip through. That's why you have the strainer and you have the vegetables on top. If you want to remove that and use that for something else, you can. That's dishwasher safe. And then to have that 360 ring on top, or lip, if you will, because there are times that I want some of the fat in there, I can just pour that right in there. It doesn't matter if you're righty, lefty, or whatever. And then, of course, that dispenser, being able to like dispense just on a dime and really separate the fat beautifully. So this is an intuitive, it does everything by itself. Like, it's just a smarter way of doing what we know, love, and dishwasher safe. It comes apart, it unscrews together, unscrews apart to all get dishwasher cleaned all the way through.
Everybody is super excited about having this item back in stock, and it's going very, very quickly. Don't miss out on this. If you need to buy more than one, or if you're putting together a gift basket for maybe a new neighbor or a recent graduate who's just moved into their first kitchen, this is one of those things they would probably never think to buy for themselves, but oh boy, are they glad they have it when they need it. That's what makes this so perfect. Real quickly before I give another update, Mark Charles, what is the capacity of the measuring cup?
It is a 4-cup capacity.
4-cup capacity. It says that in the graphic. If I would read, which is fundamental, I would know that. So this is all right there. And there are your measurement marks on the outside, so you can see exactly how much you're doing. If you're making a recipe, if you need to measure out, you'll know exactly what you've got going on. We began this show with 12,500 of these. Now, we've sold out of moss and blue. If you want red, fewer than 400. If you want the gray, 500. Oh, red has pulled into the lead. And if you want black, I have 100 left in black. You know what that means? Going very, very quickly. Black is most popular tonight. Now, Mark Charles, best way to clean this?
All dishwasher safe. And what's important is that it's not just throw it in the dishwasher. I can't stress this enough, folks. These are the details that I love about Henning Lee. The top comes off. There's that strainer, okay? Dishwasher safe. But you would think you put this whole thing in the dishwasher, and oh no, because we want it really cleaned. It actually unscrews. Ready, tighty, lefty, loosey. There we go. And you can really get a clean on there. So that means all of the actual threads where you actually screw it on and off is going to get cleaned underneath the lip, the 360 lip that you have to pour out of. So everything gets cleaned because it completely comes apart with no tools necessary. That's the other part. And it goes back on that quickly, and you're back in business. So it's smart. You don't need the directions. It's all right there. It comes out of the box, and it's ready to go.
Mark Charles, we just sold out of red and black.
Oh, I thought it was the gray and the red that were neck and neck. What happened?
And then there was only one.
And there was one. And by the way, J. David, we should tell something. Gray is new this year. Last year, we did not offer gray. We had the other 4 colors.